Shalom Aleichem. And of course you say to me, Aleichem Shalom. My name is Mindel Devora. Ich hab lieb Yiddish. I love Yiddish. And today I want to talk a little bit about Yiddish as a language. There's an old saying, "Es ist schwer zu sein a Yid." It's hard to be a Jew. Well, it isn't that hard actually, but we've lost a great deal because 6 million Yiddish speakers were killed in the Holocaust. And many people today still say, "Oh, Yiddish, that's a dying language. What are you bothering with it for?" Or, "It's not a real language. It's just a mishmash, a jargon." Well, I'd like to set the record straight, if I may. Yiddish is indeed a language. It was the international language of Ashkenazic Jews in Europe for close to 1,000 years. It's actually older than English. Ah, you're surprised. Well, that's the case. Now, it's true, Yiddish does come from the same matrix as German. And it's probably half to 3/4 based in that matrix and sounds very Germanic. It has many other words from many other languages infused in it because, you know, we Jews have lived all over the world and we've adapted customs and words and so on. So that in Yiddish there will be words from other languages. There will be various plural endings from other languages. And without exception, it has its own way of spelling phonetically. Now, we do use the same Hebrew characters as Hebrew does. However, there are certain differences in terms of some letters that are used in Hebrew that are not used in writing Yiddish. But if a word is a Hebrew word that is used in Yiddish, such as the word Shabbos, well, in today's Hebrew, we use the Sephardic pronunciation, and we say Shabbat. Well, when writing that word, we would spell it the Hebrew way, even though the t sound at the end of Shabbat is not used in Yiddish. There's a different t sound, a tes, that's used in Yiddish. So, Yiddish is a very viable language. Now, you know that I said before that Jews lived all over the world. The Jews who lived in what we call Spain, Portugal, that part of the world are called Sephardic Jews. They developed a different language called Ladino, which was in a Spanish base with Hebrew mixed in, and probably other words from other languages as well. So the Ashkenazic language was Yiddish, and that was in the eastern part of Europe. So Jews basically who came from Russia and Poland and that part of the world spoke Yiddish as their mama lashon, their mother tongue. That Yiddish came over to America. So today we are seeing a new interest. There's a revival of Yiddish, thanks to a young man by the name of Aaron Lansky, who started the National Yiddish Book Center in Amherst, Massachusetts. He has done an amazing job. He was awarded a MacArthur Foundation grant of, I think, $350,000 for being a young person under 40 who made an amazing cultural contribution to society. He has collected millions of Yiddish books that would have otherwise been thrown out and lost forever. He's also discovered thousands of pages of Yiddish sheet music, most of which came from the Yiddish theater that was started by Goldfaden in the early 1900s. In fact, many of famous Hollywood movie stars, Jewish movie stars who changed their names, got their start in the Yiddish theater, like Paul Muni, if you remember him. Now, this program at the National Yiddish Book Center entices hundreds of college students every summer who apply to be interns. They are needed desperately to come and help catalog all these millions of books which the center has accumulated. And they stay on for courses to learn Yiddish. They have 5 times as many applicants as they can take, which is sad for the applicants who are not taken, but is a wonderful symbol for us. So, do not think that Yiddish is dead. It's alive and well. I myself am leading a Yiddish group at my son's synagogue, Ezra Habonim, Niles Township in Skokie, Illinois. We meet the 3rd Shabbos of every month after services, and we have a lot of fun. I try to help them speak some Yiddish. We hear a couple of very short, funny Yiddish stories. We sing some Yiddish songs, and we have a good time. And they're all quite enthusiastic, and they come up to me during services and they say, "Oh, good, today's Yiddish. Lamer reden Yiddish." So we talk Yiddish. So I hope you too will find an interest, a renewed interest, and know that there are many, many Yiddish sources. There are still wonderful books and movies and DVDs around in Yiddish for adults and children.